Marvel's What If premiered this past Wednesday. I enjoy I enjoy when we're getting these Marvel shows on Wednesdays now. It feels like a good day to drop. But regardless, What If is exploring the multiverse, exploring the these heroes, but if situations had gone differently, if they were perhaps switching roles or taking on other superhero powers. And in this first episode, we get the Captain Britain, right? That's what it's Captain Britain.
No, this would be Captain Carter. Captain Britain is
Captain
a different
Carter.
character.
Right, you're right. Sorry, Captain Carter. And if
Obviously,
she were the
Agent
first
Carter,
Avenger,
if she became the first Avenger, what if?
yes. And Peggy Carter, obviously Steve Rogers' love interest and friend, and uh, Agents of Shield kind of comes from her, but not directly because it's more in the future. But she's in the Marvel universe basically, and in this scenario, in this what if, she becomes Captain America basically, and Steve Rogers becomes Iron Man. Which sure, okay, but um, what if is it probably less interesting for the things that actually happen. I
Mm.
think more interesting for this felt like a low stakes show, some like a bit of filler for Marvel going in as just something to kind of bridge a gap in programming in a sense, just kind of have something to build out the catalog. And then we get news before that there will be consequential things to the overall arc of phase 4,
Yeah.
as we these episodes play out. And I think you kind of see at the end of this first episode that Nick Fury in one of these multiverse timelines is seems to be getting people together in some way. So there's something going on there. But I know that you weren't super pumped for this, right?
Yeah, I wasn't. I think part of it's because it's animated, but
Hmm.
that's not a barrier for me. Again, I love
You
the
talk
Star
about
Wars
Bad
animated
Batch.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just because like I am very skeptical of the consequential nature of Marvel's What If. We just went through this with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is like barely consequential, and that's live action featuring actors in the actual movies. You know,
Mhm.
they got a lot of talent returning for What If to do voiceover. Not everyone. Chris Evans, a big exception. Downey as well. So I just want to see it first. Like I want to see what this consequence is because the nature of the multiverse is that you can do anything, but also that nothing actually needs to matter because you can just do anything and you can do whatever you want. In this case, Captain Carter, right? This was just a redux of Captain America 1, the film. And it was cool. I think the animation's beautiful, it's perfectly fun, but I don't think it's done anything to differentiate from other Marvel television animated series. Of course, this is a Marvel Studios television show, What If? But the Marvel television stuff is still existing in some form, right? We had a Modoc came out recently, starring Patton Oswalt. How is What If actually that different from Modoc, which I know people like, but it's like I feel like this is for Marvel super fans,
Yeah.
and like you got to really want to watch a Marvel cartoon, at least until I see something different.
Yeah. I think I'm bought into the Marvel shows at this point, and I like when they get weird. I do agree. I'm a little less captivated because it is animation, and obviously, like they had a lot of people coming back to reprise their roles doing voice work. But there are some notable people missing. First episode, Chris Evans is not voicing Steve Rogers. I believe Scarlett Johansson doesn't come back. I don't think Robert Downey Jr. comes back.
Mhm.
So a few the biggest people are like out on doing the voice work for this. But um, the fact that they got so many people back is interesting, and I think it's just fun to like be with these characters in a different way. I think one of the knocks on Steve Rogers is, he's kind of a boring character because he's just always making the right choices. And I think they obviously play that up in, Endgame and things like that. But it was interesting to see him as Iron Man. I think just because it's like
Hmm.
obviously such a play on the you know rivalry he had with Iron Man with Tony Stark, as they were rivals or
What
even
was
though
his
like
name in this? Hydra Buster or something like that?
yeah, Hydra Buster, which work on the name, I'd say, but
Powered by
um,
Howard Stark, of course.
yeah, but I think overall, I just kind of found this to be a good setup, but I don't know what like combination really I'm like hoping for. Like I don't know who I want to see doing what. And we think about the next episode, which is obviously I say obviously people may not know this. It's Chadwick Boseman, his last voice acting role,
Hmm.
reprising T'Challa as Star Lord T'Challa, which is like such a
Yeah.
weird combination. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
I kind
it,
of wish his last voice appearance was doing something else that I feel like I don't know, fucking mattered. I don't know. It's just I want to see this feel any different than all the other animated Marvel shows because all the other
mm,
animated Marvel shows don't get people up in the morning. They're animated Marvel shows for kids. And
yeah,
just because this one was made by Kevin Feige and crew doesn't necessarily change that. So I just need to see more.
yeah. We'll check back in with it a little later on in the season, maybe when it wraps up, if it's worth checking in on.